If the Niners don't trade Deebo Samuel, who should they target with their first pick? Should they trade up? Should they stick at 61? Should they trade down?
I think they should stick at 61. And I think that the draft will fall just fine to them. Whether they want to go edge, they want to go safety, interior offensive line, I think that they'll have a pick of the litter there. I actually was looking, ESPN does an interesting thing where you can put in a pick and they will give you a percentage that players are going to fall there. And they will give you a percentage that players are going to be picked there. They actually had, believe it or not, Jaquan Brisker, who I thought would go in the early 40s. They had him as the highest chance to fall to San Francisco and be picked at 61. If Brisker's there, I can't get to the podium fast enough, right? If Brisker's not there, I would probably prefer going Nick Cross. That's just me. I would love to get that starting safety. And the longer you wait, the harder that's going to be. There's a lot of good safeties, but to me, I'm going with a guy that has an athletic profile that is unmatched. A guy who maybe his eyes confuse him a little bit, but I feel like we can teach that. And that's the route that I'm going to go. And then I'm going to follow it up with probably Marcus Jones. And then I'm going to get my center in either Luke Fortner or David West. I think it's 105 is the pick after that. That's how I would prefer to go.
I think it's a great plan. I don't think it's what the Niners are going to do.
Probably not.
I'd love to think the Niners would take a DB in round 2, but they haven't done that since Jaquiski Tartt. And they just made a big deal out of signing George Odom. And they supposedly love Talanoa Hufanga. So I just think they're going to pass. I also think Alex Mack's going to retire.
I do too.
And I think Kyle Shanahan really feels like he needs or wants a top-level center. And that's not Daniel Brunskill. Like, Daniel Brunskill is a good replacement level center in a pinch, but he's not. He's Daniel Brunskill. He's a undrafted receiver. He's undrafted free agent formerly. Weston Richburg was the 43rd pick in the draft. Alex Mack, 21. Kyle wants those kind of guys. And so I think they'll either move up from 61 or they'll take Cole Strange, Dylan Parham, one of those guys, and say, we got one of the top centers in the draft. We're going young anyway this year. We're going to let him start, and we're, essentially looking toward 2023 anyway. So I think they're going to take a center fairly quick. I mean, I don't think they'd wait any longer than 93, but if they need a starting center, someone to start week 1, it's probably going to be a round 2 pick.
Yeah, because I mean, the logical thing would be to do what everybody's pointed out and get a JC Treader and then draft a center and groom him. But the 49ers aren't going to do that.
They're going young. And apparently they're dialing back their spending this year because Denise said so. So, yeah, I think they might have a young starting center, probably in round 2, Cole Strange, Dylan Parham. We'll see.
I can't argue. Here's what I'll say is from McGlinchey to, who was it? McGlinchey, Bosa, Kinlaw, Lance. I've been spot on with their picks for 4 years. I have no clue, Grant. Literally no clue what the hell they're going to do at 61. Maybe it's because it's not a first rounder. I don't know. I have no idea. There's so many directions that they can go. I don't know what their feelings are about some of these players that are on the team. I just think it's such a crapshoot. They could go 5 different directions. I'd be like, oh yeah, no, I get it. That makes sense. I have no clue who they're going. No clue.
I hear you. I don't think they're going to wait until round 3 to take a center if they need a starter. If Alex Mack comes back, great. I don't think they want Daniel Brunskill to be their week 1 full season starting center. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they really like Daniel Brunskill. I think they like him at guard, but I don't think they value the guard position. I think they feel guard is dime a dozen. But Kyle seems to like to have premium centers. So I don't know how long he'll wait. Maybe he has it.
I heard a scary thought. I would love to give him credit. I want to say it was Haberman and Middlecoff. Maybe it wasn't. So if it wasn't them, I don't want to put it on them. But somebody was talking about the 49ers, how they may look to take pressure off their center. And they would do that by allowing Trey Lance to call some of the protections because that's what he was used to in college. Now, I do like to hear that because that's Trey Lance. This is one of the reasons that I thought he should be drafted. But now you're going to put that on him? First year starting. By the way, you don't have Deebo. You lost your left guard. You lost your center. And now you are way more responsible than what Jimmy ever had to do in his 8-year career, his 5 years with us. Good luck, kid. Go out and knock him dead. Come on, man. Like what? Oh, it's so frustrating. So frustrating.
Well, we'll see what happens. Salah says the best spot in this draft is collecting as many picks from 15 to 40. As many picks, we can turn Deebo into 3 of edge, safety, offensive line, wide receiver. Nothing like Kinlaw Buck.
I agree with that. I see what he's saying. I tweeted this out about a week ago. If I'm the 49ers and I get pick 10, obviously I'm going best player available. But to me, if that best player is a receiver, you do it, right? And I like Jameson Williams, but if he duds, you're always going to have that comparison to Deebo, and that's the worst thing that can happen. You don't want that Kinlaw Buckner thing over again. You just don't.
But the reason that Kinlaw isn't succeeding isn't because he's being compared to Buckner. It's because he has one knee.
Now, that's true. Yes,
Williams has one knee too. Brian Howard says, if we trade Deebo and he signs for less, does that expose a bigger problem in the front office and disconnect with players? Yes. But again, I think the person in the front office who has a connection with players is the head coach. It's not John. John is from a different era entirely.
I would be shocked if Deebo signed for less somewhere else.
Spencer says if Deebo returns and becomes toxic and dogs it on running plays, what vet checks him in the locker room? Do you see this as a potential issue? I mean, this on Kyle. Kyle, if you think you can fix this, you can't let this happen, man. This is on the head coach. It's not on Trent Williams or Fred Warner. It's on Kyle. Fix this if you can fix it.
Here's what I'll say. I refuse to believe that that's a possibility from Deebo because 1, he still hasn't gotten paid. 2, this is a guy that we watch give everything in multiple games. What I will say is this: if he has a twinge of an injury, you think he's fighting through it? Absolutely not. But if he's healthy, I think he'll give everything that he has on the field. I think that's some players are just like that. Some players have that dog in them, and they feel like they got to prove something play in and play out. I feel like Deebo's about as dog as it gets. So I could not foresee Deebo half-assing it when he's out on the field. I really can't.
Bree McMillan says, do you think the meeting Deebo had with Mike McDaniel had anything to do with Deebo's decision? Do you think he aired out Shanahan's dirty laundry?
It's a rumor. I don't know if there's any truth to it, but that is a rumor that he said basically run, get out of there. They're not going to pay you. I don't know how true that is, but that is something that has floated around. So who knows?
Right. And I mean, everyone knows how the Niners do business, and Kyle can just say, look. Yeah, that's true. But I run this team now. It's my team. Okay.
I'm the captain now.
I'm the captain now. Bang, bang, Niner gang, says Val Ramos. I appreciate that. Robert Whitaker says, I know we don't need an inside linebacker, but have you seen Troy Anderson played quarterback, running back, and inside linebacker at Montana State? First year at inside linebacker had more than 100 tackles, runs a 4.4, 240 pounds, 4.0 GPA, Eagle Scout, Mr. Football, 61st pick. No, I don't think they're going to go inside linebacker.
I don't think so. But Troy Anderson is everything that you just said. He's flying up draft boards right now. So if he's there, he would be a hell of a player. But oh man, talk about going best player available. That would be an interesting one.
The Niners have still only really added one offensive player who matters this whole offseason, Ray McLeod. They're going to probably have to add some more offense. Tyler says trade Deebo for pick 10 and second 38th pick. Trade 10 back to 15ish. Take Linderbaum at 15 and trade. I hope Watson drops to 38. Linderbaum.
I would love that.
Yeah. Seems like they kind of, I could see Kyle actually doing that. Yeah.
Yeah. I would love that. Yes. That would be amazing.
Because Kyle has had success getting wide receivers in round 2.